Hello and welcome back to Kev's Hobby Showcase. I am Kevin, and you may have also seen me on Tabletop Jones Productions presents Two Idiots Playing Board Games, where me and my friend John play games and have an awesome time doing it and like to joke around. So today I'm going to be painting a piece to the Marvel Crisis Protocol game. It's a very unique one. It's called one of Doctor Strange's foes called Dormammu. And here he is. He stands pretty tall. There's a lot of accessories that kind of go with the piece that I had to build, but I'm not doing those today. I'm just doing the character. I mean, I'll probably do those in another video one day, just not today. Alright, so to start off with, most of his costume is going to be black with red in the front. At least that's how it is on the box. So let's just get to it. Alright, let me get this on. Let's point this down, and away we go. Alright, let me get the blacks mixed up a bit. Alright, let me just get a brush, and here we go. Now with this one, a bit of the uniqueness is going to be his face, because on the box it shows it to be like almost like a black mask on top of what looks like flame. So what I'm going to do when I get to that is I'm going to paint the flame first, or at least the yellow part of the flame, and then I'll put the black face on top of it. And for those of you who are sensitive to that term, I don't mean the type of black face that gets you all triggered. I mean that his face is actually black, and it needs to go on top of the flame color. That's all I mean. I know nowadays you got to watch out what you say in these videos, because there are some people out there that if they hear something they don't like, they make your life a living hell, and I wish to avoid that. It's generally why I don't talk about politics when I do my videos. Oops. Oh boy. Alright, well that's where the red's supposed to go, so I'm going to have to wait for that to dry now before I can do that part. That's alright. I'm doing these videos. I've got to basically go into it with the belief I have nothing but time. Now, one thing I didn't mention before is that this piece has already been primed. I primed, there's a lot of pieces that I primed before I thought of doing these videos. And originally I was going to try to do something like this on the Tabletop Jones Productions site, channel. And then John and I started talking, and we were saying about how, like some of these videos that we each wanted to do, and he was like, well, maybe we should each have our own channels to do these videos, and just save the Tabletop Jones channel for the games. So I was like, you know what, it's not a bad idea, because with this, I could work at my own pace as far as when the videos come out, and I could choose what I want to do. I could change things up if I want to change things up. Yeah. And to be honest, it also gives us more exposure. At least that's what we're hoping for. I mean, not that we're trying to be celebrities. I don't think we're really trying to do that. At least not now. But one thing we are trying to do is get people on who like to watch YouTube videos to like to watch our videos. And maybe if they see us in a particular video, they'll look up all the others, especially if we're on more than one channel. because I could tell you, my kids, when they have a favorite YouTuber, they pretty much look to see every video that person does, no matter where it is. So that has me hopeful. And of course, both John and I are doing all this so that one day we can each retire from our prospective jobs and do something like this, which brings us great joy. It's just like that old expression, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I do love doing this, especially when pieces come out looking really awesome. Alright. Now, in case you're wondering if you see me all of a sudden just stop and pause, it's because I'm looking at the box that has a picture of this character on the box. Because Dormammu is not a character I frequently read. I don't really collect the Doctor Strange comics too much. And right now, I'm not really collecting the Doctor Strange comics at all. Although I do like the character, you know, I just gotta watch how much I spend on comics. Don't want to spend too much. So, but anyway, so I'm not very, very familiar with how Dormammu always looks. And, well, to be quite frank, with a lot of these characters, when you have different artists, a lot of them like to put their own little twist into it, and they make them look slightly different than they usually do. Now, I will say with this, being that the costume, or his armor, I guess you could call it, is predominantly black, the armor wash, or I should just say the wash, I keep calling it armor wash, the wash is most likely not going to show up too well on this, or at all, really. So what I might wind up doing is just putting the wash on whatever surface isn't already painted black, which isn't going to be much with this one. Now you see all these things that come up. Those are basically like fire, which I will be doing my usual bit how I make things look like fire. And for anybody who's seen the video where I painted, the piece Pyro from the Brotherhood of Mutants, I had to make his hair and parts of his hand look like there was fire in it. Now, I like the way it came out. I don't know how everybody else feels about it. I still haven't seen anything in the comment section. So that's why I always say, you know, if you have something to say, you know, put it in the comments, and I will eventually respond to it. I mean, unless it's something totally distasteful, then of course I'll ignore it. But as long as, you know, keep things in the realms of good taste, I will respond. Because the one thing I don't want to do is start a war of words on the in the comment section. I'm not into that kind of crap. Alright, so we pretty much have all of the base coat in as far as the black goes. So we're going to let this dry, and then next we're going to be doing, like, around here, we're going to be doing all this, the flame color. But before I do, like, the rest of the flame, after I get the yellow in the face, I'm going to try my darndest to get it to look really, really good. And of course you got these two here, which is flame, and you got stuff off his boots, which is flame, and you know, I probably shouldn't even have put those there, but these are flame. And the base on this is actually going to be black as well. I'm wondering if I should just do that now. Actually, I am going to do that now. Why not? Why not? Why not? Let's just do that now. You know, why wait till later when you can do it now? Yeah. Because I know my videos, when I'm painting, tend to run pretty long, at least an hour most of the time, sometimes longer. I know when I did the Sentinels, I did not realize it was going to be an hour and a half long. But because I started talking, and I just didn't want to edit any of it out, and I was like, screw it, just leave it all in. And it was much to my surprise that it was an hour and a half long video, which I think after the intro video that I did, that was pretty much the first one that I really did. So I hope nobody was kind of off-put by such a long video being like my first one that I put out. Alright, so a little bit more in the center. Now this thing does have a lot of crevices, and I'm going to try to get into those crevices with yellow and then like orange and red, because it is supposed to look like it's like burning, and like, you know, it's supposed to look like that it's burning and whatnot. Alright, so did a lot of black on that. Alright, let me put that down. So we're going to have to wait for all of that to dry before we can go forward. Alright, clean the brush. Okay, so I think I put it up a little too much. There we go. Yeah, otherwise I look like a bobbing head. Alright, so we got the base coat on. We're going to come back after all that is dry. We're going to do all those areas that look like fire, and maybe even get some into the base, where, because there was actually a design there. I think I kind of ruined it by putting some flame thing there, you know, because they were just extra, and I just chose a place, didn't realize what was on the base. But I'm going to make it, I'll try to make it come out good. And yeah, so we're going to wait for all that to dry. We'll come back and we'll get started on all that flame and fire. All right, so just stay tuned and I'll be right back. All right, well, the black paint has had time to dry, so we're going to add some more to it. So let's get ready. I'm going to do the red that goes on the front, and I'm going to try to do some of the yellow, you know, all around it. Although my battery is low right now, so I might cut it short after the red. All right, well, let's just get to it. Alright, let's get this red ready. Hopefully it won't run over the side like I did last time. So far so good. Alright. Alright, so just got to do this one just a little bit more delicately, because I don't want to have to keep touching up the black paint. Alright, let's do this. What helps though is for the area that it's just supposed to stay in, the piece is like raised up, you know, it's like maybe like the surface is raised up, so you know where to go, where to stop. Alright, Alright, so then we got the top part, now we're getting the bottom part. Now we will be using red again to help with the flame look, but this is initially what is supposed to be red. Alright. That went awfully quick though, didn't it? Let's see, what's the battery? It's still the same, okay. Alright, so let me clean this brush. One thing about when you're using red paint, you gotta make sure you let people know, because you know, people are gonna see this on a napkin and think that your nose is bleeding or something. Alright, so let's get that put away. And let's take out the yellow. Alright. Alright, let's get a decent brush for this. Gonna need something thin to get into the bottom, but alright. Alright, we'll start up here by the head. Oh, I'm gonna need a bigger brush. Ooh, whoops. And Work, fingers, work. I know you got arthritis. You still gotta work. Correctly. There we go. Okay. Get all of this yellow. Alright, this time, if you notice me pausing, it's because I'm trying to see how much battery power I have left. So the last thing I want is to continue to paint thinking I'm recording when I'm not, because you can't redo that. And I know that happened on when I was painting the Sentinels. And if I remember correctly, I wasn't aware of the battery dying until after the fact, which I'm sure added quite a bit of levity to the video, but I'd rather that not happen this time. Alright, just gonna... Alright, well, I'm probably going to have to touch up a little bit with the black, but that's okay because I got to go over there and get the put the face in. Alright, with the hands, trying to get it so that like you could see it in between the fingers. So yeah, I'm going to have to touch up on the black on this as well. In case you're wondering why I did that just now, well, I unfortunately have an ant infestation in my house, and they like to make their way up. Well, battery went dead, but I heard it right away. It didn't give me a warning beforehand, but I did hear it. So I got a nice fresh battery in there now, and we shouldn't be bothered by that anymore, or at least for now. So as I was saying, like I said, I have an infestation of ants in this house. It's not nothing new. It's been happening on a yearly basis. I've been trying my darndest to prevent it, but it appears the only way to prevent it is to put down the traps that would kill them. And I want to do it, but they just keep coming back. And my God, if you could, I mean, I wouldn't even want to show you a video of this. I mean, the amount that would be, excuse me, that would be in my kitchen. It's just, ugh, you know. And I think the last straw for me was I put out chicken to defrost on my countertop, and when I came home from work and I looked at it, there was ants all over it, and that was the last straw for me. That was like, all right, the heck with this. Yeah, I felt like a mobster. I felt like a mobster going like this, going, I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his friends dead. I want anybody who looked at him dead. You know, I just got that pissed off because I was trying my darndest to not kill them, but they just kept coming. They just kept on coming. I would buy sprays that was supposed to just deter them, and it would work to a certain extent, but then, like I said, they just kept on coming. You know, it was just such a relentless barrage of these things, and the development I live in, I don't think I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I've spoken to some of my neighbors. I asked them about it. They've talked about having a lot of ants, spiders, and other types of insects, and it's just you know, too much sometimes. It's like, I mean, I sometimes say to myself, how many anthills is around my house, or worse yet, is my house built on any of them? Because it just doesn't stop. All right. So I'm getting all the little flaming parts that are on this piece, Getting all of it yellow. I'm going to have to take a break when I'm done with that. Let this yellow dry so I can do the other colors. Especially so I can do the face. I'm going to do this part. And then I'm going to try to get into the crevices of the base. So it'll be almost as if I'm doing a wash. It'll be almost as if I'm doing a wash, but with yellow, and it's not watered down. Although, once I do it, it might look watered down. We'll see. Alright, so that's it for this brush. Now we're going to get that thinner brush back out. Alright, didn't have to go far for it. So, this is going to be, well, this is going to be like hit or miss, really, because yeah, gotta get into every little crevice here, which it's gonna be hard to show me doing it on camera because gotta kind of hold it a little close to me in order to see it. Well, I could just say it's not going to be perfect, and this part I might just have to leave yellow. I don't know if I'm going to get any of the other colors to look good, being that it's such a small area to color in. Alright, well, not too bad, I guess. Yeah, it would probably look better if I didn't put these two things in here. I wasn't sure what to do with them, so I put them on the base. I'm kind of regretting it now. But, you know, too late because this was done so long ago, so many months ago. Alright, so we're going to let the yellow dry, and when I come back, we're going to put the face on, and then we're going to do red and orange in the other places where it looks like it has flames. Alright, let me clean the brush. Okay, put that up so I don't knock it over. Alright, so like I said, we're going to let that dry, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we'll it'll be pretty much the finishing touches on this, because it's just going to be making the flame look like flame with the orange and the red, and to put the face on with the black. Alright, so stay tuned, and I will be back. Okay, we're back. The yellow paint has been given time to dry off, and so I'm going to do the face, and we're going to do the flames. So just give me a sec, and we'll be ready to do that. Just punch it down here. Get my nifty device on. Okay, I'm going to do the face first. Okay. Now, I don't need too much for the face, thankfully. Get one of the smaller brushes. And here we go. Just do it lightly. And so now, when I'm putting it on here, some of it is looking like it's just covering a little bit, letting the yellow bleed through, and that's actually not a bad thing, because it gives more attention to the flame. Alright, that's all I really needed for the face. Let's get this paint cleaned off. Okay, whoops. Oh. We're done with the black. I have to clean this shirt. I think I got some black paint on it. Alright, so with the flame, I like to do orange first before I do red. Now, with the orange and the red, we're not going to be doing too much. It's just going to be a little bit here and there. You don't want to totally overtake the yellow. So it's like you just do a little bit here. It's like you just put it on very sparingly. Oh, I forgot to do touch-ups with the black. I could always go back on with that. All right, so just get, especially where it looks like it's like moving outward. I want to put the extra colors on because when you look at a flame, you know, where it looks like, you know, where you see like more color to it is where it kind of like reaches out, if you catch my meaning. And we don't want to totally cover the yellow because we want the yellow to be seen. So let's get this part here. This part here. Okay. Now, we don't necessarily have to wait for the orange paint to dry because if it blends in with the red, that's actually not a bad thing. Alright, well, just this a little bit here. Alright, oops, excuse me. I think my lunch finally caught up to me. Had tuna melts. Alright, so I will give that a little bit of time, and in the meantime, where is it? Where's a good brush to use? I guess I'll use this one. Should I use this one? Yeah, I'll use this one. Alright, so let's put the orange away. And we're going to do the little touch-up that we need to do with the black, which is right here. I mean, I don't know if it could even be seen by the camera because it's such a small bit that has to be done. Okay. Alright. Let's do a bit of the hands as well. Let's grip this better. Because I don't want the fingers to be totally overpowered by the flame. Okay. Now, as well, what I always say when you're doing stuff like this, the only one really judging it is you. So, if you put it on a little bit and you like the way it looks, leave it. Because it's the way you want it. Alright, put that down. Get this cleaned off a bit. Alright, so we're done with the black. All that is left now is the red. And then after this, well, we're going to do a little bit of the wash on the areas that will actually show up. And I just noticed that there's a little bit of touch-up I need to do where we painted red before, and that's all I needed to do there. Alright, so the red, we don't really need a whole heck of a lot, just a little bit here and there. Try to make the flame stand out a little bit more. Just a little bit here, a little bit there, especially on the pieces that come out, like the parts of the piece that come out. Alright. And here we go. We'll do a little bit more. Alright, let's get down here. So for those of you out there who are perfectionists, don't drive yourself crazy. Sometimes when things look a little bit less perfect, actually it looks a little bit better. Because sometimes you want to have something have a look that's a little worn. Make, like I said before, make it look like it's been through some stuff, you know? Okay. All right. Oh, that's looking good, looking good. All we need to do is put the wash on, and this piece is finished. And we're going to let this dry, though, before we put the wash on. We're not going to do much with the wash. Let me close up this paint. Okay. So, essentially, we're going to just do this area here because it'll actually show up. None of the black because it's not going to show up. And I'm going to do a little bit on the flames to make it look kind of like a smoky look. You know, even on the bottom, I'll try to do that. And you know, I mean, the etchings on the base didn't come out exactly the way I wanted, but I think it's pretty good because, let's face it, whatever this is supposed to be, he's standing in the middle of it, so you know, it's going to be a little bit out of sight. All right, so. Okay, so we're going to let that dry, then we're going to do the wash, and then it's all going to be finished. All right, so stay tuned and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and all the paint is dried, and now it's time to give Dormammu the wash. Okay, so let's get this on. Just put this down. Okay. Now, like I said before, we're not going to do it on all of it. I'm going to do this a bit here because you know he's supposed to be a minion of the underworld, or Lord of the Underworld, I should say. Should make it look like he's been in actual fire. And really, this is all that I'm going to do. Oh, I'm sorry, it's still going to do the ones near the base. Let's get that down. All right. And there we go. And I think just in the nick of time because the battery's going down. So, here you go. Here is Dormammu. I know it's a weird sounding name, but that is his actual name. All right. Oh, sorry. Usually turn that off. All right, so now we're done, and here is the finished product, as I was showing you before. And I think it came out pretty good. You know, I mean, sometimes the color schemes are easy, you know. So just want to say thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please check out also Tabletop Jones Productions. John and I are always playing a game that we're recording. We're probably going to scale back to once a month to give us more time to make more content. And you know, so just stay tuned for both of us, really. So anyway, like I said, like and subscribe, share this video and any other videos as much as possible, and I'll see you again. All right, thank you very much. You have a great day.